love the game. I love the hustle, man.
So if y'all remember last week, the week before, I believe, we did a topic talking about JaVale McGee and all these all these centers that the Kings kind of accumulated. We're talking about JaVale, we talking about Nerlons, we said Queta, Lynn. And if y'all remember my takes, I was like, man, why do we have so many centers? Like, what are we doing? Like, I just feel like that was kind of redundant to have all these centers on the roster. They're all not going to play, right? And then that's not even including Sabonis, and that's not even including the other big man, Lyles. So I was like, man, what are we doing with that? So the Kings did recently release Nerlens Noel and Neemias Queta, right? Neemias, man, I kind of feel like, we drafted him. I feel like he has some promise, but I don't really feel like he had a strong summer league. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. I remember.
You wasn't big on his summer league.
I almost called you from the summer league game. Like, you know what, man?
Yeah. Nah, you were at the summer league game and you text me. You was like, Neemias. I'm like, nah, give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? He running the floor. He blocking shots. He rebounded, but maybe he just didn't develop enough. And look like he was going to cost a little bit of paper if he was on the opening night roster or something like that. It was it looked like his $2 million salary for the upcoming season. It was a minimum salary contract for $2 million. It was a $250K guarantee. They released him and Nerlens so they can find other rosters before the season starts. Maybe they can get a preseason with another team because we signed JaVale McGee. Like I said, so we got rid of two centers, which I'm glad about. But also, too, we signed Jordan Ford to a two-way. Hometown kid, man. He went to high school in our area. The Kings signed him to a two-way point guard. And I feel like that's more of what we needed. Kind of like that guard depth in case somebody gets hurt. I feel like he's a smart player, knock on wood. But if Davion got hurt or Fox got hurt, you can kind of plug him in, and he can kind of man the ship. He's not going to be the same type of player, but he'll be effective. What do you think about these moves that the Kings have made, waiving the two centers and signing Jordan Ford to a two-way?
I actually love it. I know we had a conversation about a week ago. We just dropped the podcast on an episode talking about, what the signing of JaVale McGee and the two extra centers that we do have on board.
I didn't like it. Or I didn't like it.
Strongly opinionated.
It was just like, what are we doing? I kind of didn't know the direction of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you definitely voiced your opinion on that. Yeah. And it was actually all facts, though. You was kind of seeing into the future.
I did.
We just didn't see behind the scenes that the Kings felt the same way. Yeah. They felt like they had too many big bodies on the roster, right?
Yeah.
So eventually we knew it was going to get cut down. Now, in my mind, I thought they would at least cut down maybe one center. Yeah. I didn't see two. I didn't see two.
Because when I was thinking Neemias Queta, I was thinking Stockton for him and maybe Nerlens and McGee. But then I guess they figured they want to give Lynn some run too. So they got rid of two centers, man. They got rid of two.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know what? Good deal for Queta. I'm glad to see that he's moved on and that he was able to find a job really immediately with the 76ers.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he signed over with the 76ers. Good place to be. Good place to sign, especially for what he's doing.
What about Nerlens? Did Nerlens land somewhere or no?
No, he's still a free agent out there. Still a free agent right now at the moment.
Yeah.
But you know what? I love the moves that the Kings did. I love the move the Kings that have been doing all offseason, honestly. I went into the offseason with expectations that we would get that big name person. You know what I mean? But one thing that we didn't do, we didn't land that big name person, but we did get depth. We got Kings now deeper. Are one of the
deepest teams in the league.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And you know what, man? I love what they did so far. I like the JaVale McGee was a bonus, and you still got Alex Lynn on the roster. You got a little depth at the point guard with Fox and Davion, and you got Ford on there still. He might get a little bit of playing time, but
he'll be in Stockton for sure.
He'll be in Stockton.
Keon Ellis, they'll be down there. I like Keon Ellis too. Yeah. I wish there was a way for him to kind of get up here and show what he can do, because I feel like he has a lot of potential. But But it's just sometimes it's just, the way the chips fall, the way the rosters are made, it's kind of hard to get up here with the main rosters to showcase your talent. But who knows? He might get an opportunity one day. But Jordan Ford and Keon Ellis, I think those are two guys that definitely two guys that you want to have in your farming system that have the potential in case, again, somebody gets hurt or something like that. Knock on wood, hopefully nobody does. But I feel like those are guys who are already in the system. Already kind of, you know what I mean? They're familiar. Keon Ellis actually played some games last season with the main roster, so the guys already know him. He's Kings. He's in the Kings family. Yeah. So I like that. I'm excited, man. I'm excited going to this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Big sign, like you said, the Jordan 4. Was we talking about the Jordan 4?
Jordan 4. And remember, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if I said this on the last podcast or if I told you personally through text, but remember I was like, bro, I'd rather us sign Ford than sign like another center. Remember I said that?
You did say that.
I said that.
Say that.
So it's crazy. I kind of called everything that happened. I was like, okay, this having 4 centers is redundant, so we got rid of 2 centers and we signed Jordan Ford. Those are the 2 things that I said personally to you and one on this pod. So man, I think I should be in the front office. No, can I be a consultant or something?
You're on the right path, brother.
Yeah,
on the right path, brother. Sure,
what you think,
you're on
man?
the right path.
Okay.
Whatever we got to do to get you in there, so I can get a job. But you know what? I'm big on Jordan Ford. Yeah. Summer he averaged. I believe he came in summertime, averaged 16, something like that, somewhere between.
He had a good summer league.
And then when you go back to the G League, he was averaging 18 and like 4, 18 and 5.
He's a good player, man.
So this is a guy that's not only is his IQ good.
That's what I like. I like that. I like the IQ.
But his game continues to get better. Even at, you know what I mean? Better every day he comes into the gym. And not only with those numbers, 16 in the summer, in the regular season in the G League, he averaged 18. So right there, that's telling you that one thing that he's a consistent player.
Yeah. Smart. He's smart, consistent.
Absolutely.
And,
absolutely.
He's a guy to where, like, if you've seen him over the years, you've seen this has kind of been his game, even as a high school player. You know what I mean? Floor general, but he could shoot the ball very well.
Yes.
People in high school, when he was in high school, because he went to Folsom High in our area, people were comparing him to like a Steph Curry-ish type game as far as like his shooting, the way he, but now he's developed more into like a floor general, like quintessential point guard. And I feel like that's really good for us to have in our system because we might need that down the road, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he could be a solid backup, man. Like, like if we needed to save money or move off a contract or something and move him up, I feel like you could plug him right in. And I feel like he's ready. He's not scared of the moment. He's not, not scared of his opportunity. And
speaking of opportunity, he's in a perfect situation where he's not come in, like you said, he can go into the G League and Davion coming in. I expect Davion to take that next step to make it even harder for Jordan Ford to get on the floor. Absolutely.
Okay. In what ways? In what ways?
You know what? That would be a topic on the next discussion, and we would bring that. We'll go do a Davion topic. And what I expect from Davion and growth that I expect to see from him. So we'll get into that.
All right.
But learning from the Fox, learning from these veterans, I think he's in a great position. I think he's in a great position to learn and not to be rushed. If he does ever get the opportunity to see the floor.
Yeah. Nah, I agree. One more point to make with the Kings. As of right now, I believe there's still one more roster spot open. There's a 15th roster spot. I'm
just waiting for this physical to clear up.
So right now,
just waiting on me to fill that roster spot.
Right. So I'm kind of looking right here. As of yesterday, I'm looking here. This is speculation as the Kings will look to add depth on the wings. Some of the names that are kind of thrown out there right now, not Kelly Oubre. He's already signed with the Sixers. But Kent Bazemore, Rudy Gay, Will Barton, Juan Toscano Anderson, Stanley Johnson. They're some of the names that might come in before training camp, or they might sign for the preseason to see if they can add something to the team. Out of those names, I like Will Barton. What do you like out of those names? Rudy Gay. Rudy Gay's a little old. Kent Bazemore, Toscano Anderson, he can't shoot, and I feel like he got a lot of opportunity down in LA before they moved on from him.
Defender, maybe a defender that you can bring in. I was on the but I know you've been strong on. You know what? We didn't defense, so I will say this. It's nothing out there that makes me go. You know what? We to that, but I wouldn't be mad at a Will Barton. Somebody
if they was able to.